You know that feeling when spring finally arrives? You see the new leaves, the flowers popping up? It's incredible. But what if there's something more going on? Like a deeper language that spring is speaking, one that we usually just miss? Well, that's what we're going to dive into today. We're going to explore how we can go from just seeing all that beauty to actually reading the profound message hidden inside it.
So spring is beautiful, right? I mean, we can all agree on that. But is that it? Is that all there is to it? It seems like such a simple question, but it really makes you stop and think. It's pushing us to consider that maybe spring isn't just something pretty to look at. Maybe it's something we're supposed to understand, almost like a book just waiting for us to open it and start reading.
Okay, so let's jump into our first section here, a spring unreceived. This is all about that weird disconnect that, let's be honest, a lot of us have felt. You know, when the whole world outside is just exploding with life, but you feel kind of sad, or maybe just nothing. It's a strange feeling, right?
See, spring doesn't just show up on March 20th like a light switch flipping on. No, it's more like what our source calls a vast, silent construction. Think about that. It's this huge, invisible project where the soil, the sun, the branches, the water, they're all working together, collaborating to get the world ready. It's this incredibly powerful process that's happening all around us, even when we don't notice it.
And this is where it gets really interesting. So if you're feeling out of sync with all that joy, what's the problem? The source has a pretty surprising answer. It's not spring's fault. The problem is us. It's what's called our insufficient reception. It's like the music is playing, but our radio isn't tuned to the right station. We're just not fully open to what the season is offering. Our internal doors are kind of shut.
And wow, this line just nails it, doesn't it? Spring returns each year, unchanging in its grace. It is human who fails to bloom in time and place. It's so clear. Nature is consistent. Spring shows up every single time. The variable in the equation, the one that sometimes forgets how to bloom, yeah, that's us.
So that leads us perfectly into our next section, which has this really powerful title, The Inner Barren Tree. We're going to dig into why this happens, what's going on inside of us that causes this disconnect from all that life and renewal.
And this is where we get this incredible idea of an inner season. I mean, think about it. The world outside can literally be bursting with green, with color, with life. But our own internal world, our landscape inside, it can be totally stuck in a cold, gray, emotional winter, just completely untouched by everything that's happening out there.
And you can really see that contrast right here. On one hand, you've got the world. The trees just grow. The soil does its thing. There's no hesitation, no delay. Everything just unfolds exactly as it's supposed to. But then you look at the self, and something inside just can't keep up. Our hearts struggle to receive it all. It's this stark picture of nature's perfect, easy flow versus our own internal static.
And this all builds to a really critical idea. We tend to think, hey, I see the flowers, I see the green leaves, so I'm experiencing spring, right? But the argument here is that just passively seeing the beauty is a world away from actually living it. Seeing, it turns out, is not enough, not even close.
And man, this quote just hits so hard. 1,000 springs outside, within a barren tree. To see and stop at seeing how deep that loss can be. It really gets at the cost, you know? The deep sense of loss that comes from just staying on the surface. When we stop at seeing, we're missing the whole point. We're missing everything. Okay, so if we're feeling so disconnected, what's the solution? How do we fix this? Well, that brings us to our third part, the garden's silent lesson. This is where things start to shift, because we're going to look to the garden not just as something pretty, but as a source of real wisdom. The garden is about to become our teacher.
The first thing to notice about a garden is that everything is in its proper place. It's his perfect model of natural order. Nothing is in a hurry, but nothing is late either. It's like this whole world where every single plant, every leaf just knows what it's supposed to be doing and when. There's this incredible, calm confidence to it all.
And this process is what the source calls the certainty of becoming. I mean, just look at these stages. You have seeds splitting, totally unseen, underground. Then the saplings take hold. Then branches start to bud. And finally, trees leaf out. Each step is this calm, confident, totally unforced move toward what it's meant to be. There's no anxiety in the garden, is there? Just this quiet certainty. So what's the big takeaway here? What's the core lesson? It's something called the measure of the garden. And it's really simple. Everything is just as it should be. Not less, not more.
Everything grows to become exactly what it is, to fulfill its own nature. A tomato plant doesn't try to be a cucumber. It's just a tomato plant, perfectly. And again, a quote to make it crystal clear. In soil, a patient truth. On branches, quiet grace. Man, in haste, forgets this measured pace. It's such a perfect contrast to us, isn't it? We're the ones who are always out of sync. We're either rushing like crazy trying to force things to happen or holding back because we're afraid to grow. We just completely forget the patient, measured rhythm the garden is trying to teach us.
Okay, all of this has been building to this final, and I think most powerful idea. This is our fourth section, from seeing to reading. This is the real game changer. This is where we learn how to make a massive shift in how we look at, well, everything.
And here it is, the core metaphor of this whole thing. The garden is a book. And all those little seedlings, those are its lines of text. Every new shoot is a word. Each one is telling its own unique story, with its own meaning, just waiting for someone to actually pay attention and read it.
And if you want proof, look no further than this. You can have a tomato seed, a lettuce seed, and a cucumber seed, right? They can share the exact same soil, the same water, the same sun. And what happens? You get 3 completely different plants. It's so obvious, but we miss it. Each one is growing according to its own internal instruction manual, its own unique text. And that's the key, isn't it? The secrets, the profound instructions are all right there, inside the seed. But if our eyes aren't trained to read, if we're only looking at the surface, then it all just looks like a patch of dirt. We miss all the incredible differences, all the deep meaning that's right there in front of us.
So really, the whole thing boils down to this. This is the call to action. It's about making a conscious choice to shift how we engage with the world. We have to move from just passively seeing the surface to actively reading it for the deeper meaning that's woven into everything. So I'll leave you with this one last thought to chew on. If the garden is a book, and the world around you is a book, filled with these profound, silent lessons, then there's really only one question left. Are your eyes open enough to read it?